many children do you all have?
3.
Okay, so run this to me, Judge. How much am I looking?
$2,969 a month.
Got to me, mother.
But that's a break because you said you give me 10,000, so that's a whole break.
You know.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be bothered. Yeah. You shouldn't be bothered.
So, Mr. Hall, excuse me. I know you still soft on her, but I'm talking to you right now. All right. So, did you have access to health insurance that would be cheaper than $250 a month?
Yeah, I can get some.
But you have to enroll the children in health.
All right, guys, this case starts off already looking messy. A father files to reduce his child support, but the twist? He doesn't even show up to court. Meanwhile, the mother is here, prepared, frustrated, and ready to expose what's really going on. This isn't just about money, it's about priorities. When someone claims they can't afford their children, but their lifestyle tells a different story, the court starts paying very close attention. So the real question is this a financial struggle or a responsibility problem?
And you were served to be here. It looks like he was wanting a reduction in his child support. He actually wrote he had receipts in the petition. So do you know anything about that?
Well, apparently he's Casper.
Okay.
Because he ain't showed up. So, I mean, he's clearly wasting my time last night. So maybe he just couldn't get up.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because he did say something, he was a promoter, a rapper or something, right?
He a rapper.
Okay.
He needs to wrap himself around the job. But anyway.
Not nice.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated.
I understand your frustration. You had to be here today. He didn't show up, obviously. So
this moment right here is critical. The person who filed the case, the father, is completely absent. Legally, that puts him at a major disadvantage. If you're asking the court for relief, you have to show up and prove why you deserve it. Instead, the mother is left explaining everything alone, including missed visitations and ongoing expenses. It shifts the energy of the courtroom instantly. So ask yourself, if you were the judge, how seriously would you take a case when the person requesting it doesn't even appear?
Of the things that Mr. Hall has been doing that shows that he has the money, but he's just not making the time.
Okay. So you have the proof, I'm assuming, to say why report shouldn't be reduced.
Correct.
Okay. Did you want me to look at that? Because if so, our bailiff can come and
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And so I made you your own copies, and I have some to go along with you.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes. So in Exhibit A, Your Honor, you see Mr. Hall, and he's gone to the dentist and had diamonds placed in his teeth.
Interesting.
So, I mean...
Now the case flips because the mother brings actual evidence into play. And this isn't just talk. These are receipts, photos, and lifestyle proof. In family court, this matters a lot more than people think. Judges don't just look at what you say you earn, they look at how you spend your money. And when spending shows luxury instead of responsibility, it creates a contradiction that's hard to ignore. So now the narrative changes. This isn't about inability. It's starting to look like choice.
He has the money, like, again, he picks and chooses what he wants to do with his money.
Okay.
And then, so if you go to Exhibit B, Mr. Hall just paid for a video shoot. So again, he's showing that diamond encrusted tooth.
All right. Have you seen him since he had these diamonds on his teeth?
No, ma'am. I hadn't seen him since the last.
You know, and maybe it's in your evidence, I'm just jumping ahead. Do you know if he ever mentioned how much these crushed diamonds cost?
No, but I'm pretty sure he paid a good penny for them. I'm sure he didn't put rhinestones in his mouth, so.
It could be that, what they call it, that cubic stuff?
CZ?
Yeah, I think that's it. Okay.
And then on Exhibit C, you see he's laying in a bed of clouds or cotton or something like that, but.
Yeah, it looked real interesting.
Yeah. He's out playing and not helping with the 3 kids, so. Again, I don't feel like it needs to be reduced, because if you could see.
This is where things get even more damaging for the father's case. Diamonds in his teeth, music video shoots, expensive sneakers. These aren't necessities, these are clear lifestyle choices. And legally, that matters. Because if you claim you can't afford child support, but you can afford luxury items, the court sees that as misplaced priorities. Even without him present, the evidence is speaking loudly. So think about it. Can someone really argue hardship when their spending tells the opposite story?
You know it, depending on how often you have to come to the courthouse and do your own paperwork and such, but everybody doesn't show up when they're served to come to court. So that I can appreciate, and I also can appreciate you bringing actual evidence because people don't do that either.
Right.
However,
It's really nothing.
there's really nothing that can be done because he's the petitioner. He's the one who brought this lawsuit before the court, so he would be the one having to come in claims for relief. This would be like your rebuttal evidence, essentially.
Right.
So, I mean, there's nothing for me to do but to dismiss this case. Now, I just want you to understand.
Here comes the legal reality. The judge doesn't even get to weigh all the arguments fully because the case gets dismissed. Why? Because the petitioner, the father, didn't show up. In court, that's everything. No testimony, no explanation, no defense. That means there's nothing for the judge to evaluate from his side. So despite all the evidence presented, the outcome is simple. If you don't show up, you lose your opportunity to be heard. Fair or not, that's how the system works.
He can't refile it.
Okay, that's fine.
So I would hope he wouldn't do this again, but I just want you to know that he could do this again.
I mean, and if he does, I'm sure he'll give me more evidence. So, okay with that. I mean, I showed up to court because it's the law, so that's why I showed up. So.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Well, did you have any questions for me while you're here?
No, Your Honor. I mean, I feel like everything was answered last time. I know, well, yeah. Can I get increased if he does bring me back to court and I show proof that he's making more money?
Well, and see, that's the thing. Even if you do show proof, you have to file your own petition with the court asking the court to increase his child support.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you're dismissed.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
So in the end, the father's attempt to reduce child support fails completely. Not because of a legal battle, but because of his absence. The mother keeps the current order, and the court sends a clear message. Responsibility doesn't pause just because you choose not to show up. And beyond that, your actions outside the courtroom matter just as much as what you say inside it. Now I want to hear from you. Was this outcome justified? Or should the judge have taken it further? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns like this.
Rise. Support Court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1085, Faye Foster case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay. Miss Faye Foster?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor.
All right, guys. This one is already heating up fast. We're inside a courtroom where a grandmother is suing her own daughter for child support. Yes, you heard that right. It's not just custody drama. It's family turning against family over responsibility, money, and survival. And as the judge opens this case, you can already feel the tension building. What really went wrong here?
Judge, sir, ma'am, you know, my daughter who I love dearly, but she is one lazy, sorry, using person.
What did she do?
So, she didn't have to, I let her move into my house 3 years ago, and she got 2 twin boys. She does nothing to support. Our agreement was that she would pay $400.
We never had no agreement. We ain't never had no agreement.
$400 on rent.
Hold on 1 second, Miss Faye Foster.
What you're seeing here is raw frustration breaking out in real time. The grandmother is painting a picture of a daughter who moved in, brought children, and stopped contributing. But the daughter instantly pushes back, claiming none of that was ever agreed. This is where courtroom cases shift. Memory versus reality. Who's telling the truth when two people remember the same home so differently?
Excuse me. We will not have any outbursts like that.
We just gonna sit here and let her say whatever she wants to say.
I'm just going to sit here and let her say what she wants to while I'm speaking to her. And when it's your turn, I will allow you the opportunity to do the same thing. Okay. There will be no more outbursts.
Yes,
We're clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we agreed that she would pay $400 a month plus she would pay $275 a month, so I'll put her kids in insurance. And since she's been there, she maybe giving me a total in 3 months of $200. It's always some excuse why she couldn't pay. And I said, and I told her, I want to fix it.
Now the core issue surfaces: money and responsibility. The grandmother insists there was a $400 monthly agreement plus insurance support. But the daughter is denying it ever existed. This is crucial legally because without a written agreement, courts rely heavily on conduct, behavior, and financial evidence. So the judge isn't just hearing emotion here. She's building a legal truth from contradictions.
My snacks and stuff I done bought for the kids and just like she done bought something. So I told her, you gonna have to start doing better.
Right.
And she told me—
Wait a minute, Miss Faye Foster, let me stop you really quickly.
Okay.
You said she braids hair. How much money she makes roughly on average a month?
Well, I know she charges about 300 to 400 depending on the length of your hair. And she normally on the weekend do at least 3 to 4 heads.
Okay.
So I would say on the average, if we just do the lower end of it, she probably makes about $1,200 on a Saturday. And sometimes she does.
This is where the case takes a sharp turn. The judge starts digging deeper and discovers the daughter is not just working one job. She's also braiding hair on the side. And suddenly, income that wasn't fully disclosed becomes part of the case. In family court, hidden or underestimated income changes everything, especially when child support calculations are about to be made.
On Sunday, but most of the time it's on Saturday, all day Saturday.
So about $1,200 every week.
Right.
Okay. Keep going. Continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue.
Okay. So I told her, I said, well, you can give me some of that, to help out. And on you living here and me taking care of the kids and using the gas to go take them to their soccer practice and to their football practice. And she tells me, you their grandmother, you supposed to do.
Judge is now breaking down numbers like a financial auditor. If she's really making around $1,200 on weekends, that's serious additional income. And this is where perception versus reality hits hard. The daughter may see it as side hustle money, but in court, every dollar becomes legally relevant when children's needs are involved. So the question becomes, what is her real earning power?
Yes. Every night, But that's why she's supposed to be paying me $400 for them to live there.
Okay.
Because she got put out of her last place. So I said, okay, you can come home, but I'm on a fixed income, so if you give me $400 a month. And then she said, okay. And I think she made $1 one time, and that's it.
All right. Are
And
the
then
children on health insurance or anything?
And then, ma'am,
Are the children on health insurance or anything?
the children, I put them in insurance because I asked, do you have insurance on these kids? And she said, I can't afford it. So I said, well, they need insurance. They playing sports and stuff, and they get sick, and we don't have out of public. So I got insurance, and she agreed that she would.
Now we see another major responsibility shift: health insurance for the children. The grandmother stepped in because she claimed the mother couldn't afford coverage. Legally, this matters a lot because whoever provides care often gets reimbursed. But the emotional layer here is heavier. A grandmother essentially stepping into a parental financial role while the mother is still alive.
All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
I know you, and I just need her to do the right thing. I just need her to do the right thing, and hope you can make her do the right thing.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I can make her. I can only do what the law allows, right? Well, let me ask you a question about the living arrangements.
Yes.
You said this was supposed to be temporary?
It was supposed to be temporary until she found her a place to stay that they can afford. It's been 3 years, and I don't think she's looking for any place to stay, Your Honor.
All right.
I don't think she has looked at all, and she keeps saying, well, I don't have the money to get a place that's nice enough for me and the boys, and
This is a key turning point. What was supposed to be a temporary living arrangement has now stretched into 3 years. In court terms, temporary, that becomes long-term changes responsibility expectations. Judges often view this as dependency, not assistance anymore. So now the question isn't just who helps, but who has become financially responsible over time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
Yes, Your Honor. She, she's always gone in their a function because she said, she got to go out with her girls and kick it, or she got to be with a man and kick it. And so, I was like, you're not even trying to be a part of these kids' life. You just want to be fancy and let somebody else take care of your kids. So,
Okay. Okay.
Here the accusations get personal. The grandmother claims the daughter prioritizes social life over parenting, going out, leaving responsibilities behind. But this is where courts must separate emotion from evidence. Even if true, it's not about judgment, it's about impact on the children. And the judge is now listening for patterns, not just arguments.
I mean, what's all that about? The huffing, puffing, and
Because she's lying. She's telling half-truths and sitting over there in her Christian outfit like everything she's saying is the gospel. Yes, me and my children did move in with her 3 years ago, but what she didn't say was, it's because I had a divorce with my ex-husband, who her and her church members just wanted me to marry this guy because he was so churchly and good, and he ended up being the devil. And in our divorce, he wiped us clean.
Okay.
And my credit was messed up. He took all the money and he left, and he did all of that, and so it left us devastated.
The daughter now shifts the narrative, bringing in divorce trauma, financial collapse, and being wiped clean by an ex-husband. This is important context because courts do consider hardship. But hardship doesn't erase responsibility. It explains it. The judge now has to balance sympathy with legal duty. Who carries the burden when life falls apart?
So this just to fill in the gaps, right? So is it true what she said that you're supposed to give her $400?
No, that was never an agreement.
Okay, hold on. So was there any agreement for you to give her any money to financially support your children?
She said to...
No, that was a yes or no.
Not in that way. Not in that way.
So explain the way.
So when we talked initially, before even moving in, it was, y'all just come, just take your time, get yourself together. I got you guys. I got these, who she was very instrumental in. I want grandbabies. 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 So I'm giving you the opportunity.
She's instrumental in wanting
This is the legal gray zone. Was there ever a real agreement or just family expectations? The daughter says there was no fixed dollar arrangement, just support when needed. But the grandmother insists otherwise. This is why informal family deals often end up in court. They rely on memory, not documentation. And memory always breaks under pressure.
your gross calculated at $3,283. That $1,200 that you just testified to, I'm deeming that as income in addition to what you make monthly. So that's how I got to that number, $3,283. That brings your net to $2,790. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right number. Yes, $2,798.18. Do you have any other children outside of...
Now the judge takes full control. Income is calculated, side earnings are added, and suddenly numbers turn into legal obligation. This is where courtroom reality hits hard. Emotion no longer matters, formulas do. Child support isn't guesswork. It's math applied to responsibility. And once income is established, the ruling becomes almost inevitable.
Versus you cannot be more than 3%. So that caps at about $84. So 670 plus $84 is $754. That's how much you'll pay your mom a month.
$700.
$754 exactly.
Your breakup. That's what
No,
this is
because
about.
you need to
This
pay
is
for your
what this
own
is
children,
about.
ma'am.
This is what
Excuse
this is
me,
about.
excuse me, I'm speaking. $4 is what's in the best interest of the children. These are your children, not your mother's children. These are her grandchildren. And I went ahead and ordered that you pay child support because based on your testimony, you'll be moving out in a couple of months anyway. So there we are. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you, Your Honor, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you. See, all you had to do was do
Don't
the
say
right
nothing to
thing.
me.
And just like that, the court closes the case, but the impact stays. A daughter ordered to pay support, a grandmother stepping into legal custody roles, and children caught in the middle of a broken financial arrangement. This wasn't just about money, it was about responsibility catching up with reality. If this case stunned you too, drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.
All rise. Support Court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1066, Ward case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Ward, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
All right, now, okay. Now, let me just kind of cut to the chase of the thing. I was engaged to the mama of his child, and, you know, we were just having a good time and was really getting ready to have a wedding and, you know, the reception at Genghis Grill and everything.
All right, guys, this case hits different from the start. We're in a courtroom where a stepfather is trying to legally claim authority over a child he helped raise after tragedy struck the family. The biological mother passed away, and that loss reshaped everything. But now the real conflict begins. Does emotional parenting give you legal rights? Or does the law strictly stay with biological custody? Today's ruling will test that exact line between love and legality.
It was all set up, but unfortunately she had fallen ill. COVID had got her, and then all of a sudden one day she's just gone.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I had to take little Malaysia into my arms and try to explain things. You know, I call her my little bit because, you know, we just kicked it off right away. I'm talking on the first date that I went on with them, because she brought her with her on our first date, which makes a lot of sense. And we just have been.
And Malaysia is the child?
Yes, ma'am.
How
Yes, she
old is Malaysia?
She's 7.
Okay.
And I mean, she's one of those smart little girls that where you can't really get a whole lot past her. She's going to call you on your stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I appreciated about her. That's why we clicked so well, because her mama was the same way.
Sounds like a good kid.
Well, yeah, she's wonderful. I mean, she you know, she's
We learn the heartbreaking backstory. After the mother's death, the stepfather stepped into a full parental role. He describes daily care, emotional bonding, and raising the child like his own. From his perspective, he didn't become a father. He already was one. But in family court, emotional truth and legal truth are not the same thing. And this gap between feeling like a parent and being recognized as one is where this entire case starts to break apart.
on point with all of her schoolwork. She loves doing her homework. You know, our thing is to watch some Schoolhouse Rock on YouTube to let her know how the old school did it and everything. And so we, you know, our favorite hangout is the Sesame Place. You know, she loves to go there. She saw one Lego Masters, and I took her to the Lego place out there and the shops in Willaband and everything. So it's like, you know, that's been my road dog. That's been my everything and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds like the two of you have a great relationship.
Oh, seriously. I mean, I just love her, you know, like my own child. And I feel like that she is actually my own child. I know that she only likes broccoli with ketchup, and she likes fish sticks with ketchup, and she likes corn with ketchup. I don't know what this thing is about ketchup.
Me either.
You know,
I don't like ketchup like that.
Yeah, but I know how she likes that. I know that she's got to have that mood light on when she goes to sleep. I know that if I don't put those downy beads in with her blanket, that she's not going to sleep. So I do everything. I mean, I talk to the teachers. I got her on the after school program. I mean, everything that I could possibly want to do for a child, I do for her.
Okay.
And so
The stepfather details everything: school routines, food habits, education support, even small personal preferences of the child. This is powerful because it shows consistency and daily responsibility. In real life, this looks like full custody parenting. But the legal system doesn't just measure effort, it measures authority. And right now, the court is forced to ask, does caregiving automatically equal custody rights? Or is something missing legally that changes everything?
thing is that, you know, I'm doing all the things that a dad would do for his daughter. And little bit me, you know, it's like, hey, I mean, I might as well just go ahead and say that she's mine. Because, you know, up until the time that she and I and her mother were together, that's just the way it was. You know, when it was with her, I was with them. So it's like, I feel like I take care of her.
Okay.
And since I figure I take care of her, then You know, then this cat over here, you figure that, you know, that he's got something to say about it. You know, when I've hardly seen him, you know, I mean, granted, she's a child's dad. Once in a while, he'll come around. Every once in a while, he'll visit her and all that kind of stuff. But he don't know.
What do you mean by every once in a while?
Oh, but every once in a while, it's like he'll come, you know, he might honk the horn or whatever. He may ask her to come out. She'll come out and see. And that's the one thing about her. She knows no strangers, you know.
Okay, so you're referring, you called him, I mean, what?
Okay, all right, look.
So this is her dad.
This is her dad, yes.
Okay, so you're saying he's not doing all of the things that you're doing with Little Bit, right?
No, not at all. I mean, really,
and you know that for a fact?
Well, this is how I look at it. If he was like a real man, if he was really in the business, then I wouldn't have any room to have proposed to Little Bit's mama. I wouldn't have even a place in her radar. But the fact that I did, to me, kind of says something. I mean, come on, man. It's like, you know. So
let me ask my question again. Okay. You know this for a fact that he's not active in her life.
Well, the one thing that I know,
okay,
is that a lot of things that she needs and that she likes.
Now the tension escalates. The biological father is introduced, and the stepfather openly questions his involvement. He suggests he is only occasionally present, while he himself is handling day-to-day parenting. But this is where things get complicated because presence and absence are not always black and white in court. The biological father pushes back, claiming involvement and responsibility. Now the courtroom becomes a battle of perception versus documented reality.
All I know is this. When it comes between me and him, she comes to me. When it comes
that you know of.
Yeah, that I see. You know, I mean, every time that he comes, I give them their space, but I'm looking at her body language and she's like, man, when is this going to be over? So it's like...
Yeah, because she's ready to come home with her real dad.
No.
Okay, Mr. Ward, give me 1 second. You know, your story was beautiful, you know, and that's not to say that you're being untruthful about anything. However, I would like to also hear from Dad, because as you know, there are always two sides to every story, well, really three, and the truth lies somewhere in between them, right?
I understand.
So give me a moment, and I'll go over to Dad.
All right.
Now, Dad, it sounds like, you know, and Mr. Ward have a great relationship, but is it true these, you know, allegations he's saying about you not being very active and involved?
None of it, ma'am. I see my child every time I'm off work, and every time I'm off, I go and pick her up, and she stays with me for the whole 4 days. I work 3 days on, 4 days off, and he knows it.
This is where emotions hit their peak. Both sides believe they are doing what's best for the child. The stepfather sees himself as the true father figure, while the biological father argues he is still actively present and responsible. But legally, the court cannot rule based on emotional attachment alone. It must follow custody orders, rights, and not rule based on emotional attachment alone. It must follow custody orders, rights, and standing. And this is the moment where sympathy and law begin to separate completely.
And when we talk to her on the phone, she says he's too invasive. He always, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he always in her face and want to know
like this. A helicopter dad.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like a microscope. That's how she feels, and she don't like it. As far as me and my child's mother splitting up, you know, that was between us. That was years before she even met you, so you can't put that on me.
Well, you know, I can't put a lot on you. I mean, yeah, okay, fine. You can call me helicopter all you want to. You're not there when her mama died, man. You weren't there to have to console her when she was crying and didn't go to sleep. You weren't there. I was there.
You didn't even tell me. I was at work. You didn't even.
That's the thing. You were always at work. You're always at work.
And see, here's the thing. I know there are a lot of emotions going on. I usually don't let people talk back and forth to each other.
I'm so sorry.
But I do understand the underlying issue here. Especially with, you know, your fiance passing away. I definitely understand that. I am just trying to get some clarity here because according to the paperwork that you filed, Mr. Ward, there is a court order in place.
Yes.
And it names your fiance as
The judge steps in and redirects the entire argument. Instead of emotions, the focus shifts to legal documents and custody structure. The key question becomes simple: who has legal standing to change custody? And the answer is already forming. Even if one party is more emotionally involved, the court cannot override legal parentage without proper grounds. This is where many similar cases collapse, not because of care, but because of law.
The custodial parent and dad as the non-custodial parent. And you are essentially trying to modify this order.
Well, yeah, because essentially, to me, I became the custodial parent.
Okay.
And
you understand how you feel is not what the law says, right?
I do understand that. But
Okay.
Your Honor, the one thing that I do know is that the custodial I have taken on, and I know it's not by emotion, and I'm not even just talking about emotion, I'm talking about my actions. The teachers know me. The teachers call me.
Hold that thought. The teachers know you as well?
Yes, ma'am. Now, granted, he lives closer to the school.
Here's the critical legal turning point standing. The judge begins clarifying that only a legally recognized party can request custody changes or child support modifications. The stepfather, despite raising the child, does not meet that requirement. This is a harsh legal reality. Being present in a child's life does not automatically grant courtroom authority. And this single principle is about to decide the entire case outcome.
So he's up there just a little bit more than me, but anytime they call, I stop what I'm doing and I'm on the way.
Okay. All right. It sounds like he's pretty involved. And tell me some things you and your daughter do together.
Well, I take her to piano. I pay for her piano lessons.
Okay.
Some days when I'm off, I take her. He takes her other days. I pay for her to be in karate class.
Okay.
We go to Six Flags together. We go skating together. Oh, we have fun. We go to my mom's house and, I drop her off. And she enjoys spending time over there mostly.
All right. So she has a good relationship with grandmother. It sounds like this child is just well loved all around with both sides. I mean, is there any chance of the two of you trying to get along to make it work best for your daughter?
Her dad, but he keeps saying, "Oh, she needs to be here." And my child's mother is no longer here, so I'm trying to get him to court to get full custody of my child.
Okay.
All the way. So that's how that's gonna end. Much longer.
But man, no, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. No.
Well, neither one of you are going to talk to each other like anything anymore. I'm ready to make my ruling. I've heard what the both of you have to say. I understand that
The judge breaks it down clearly. Biological father is still alive, actively involved, and legally recognized. That alone overrides the stepfather's claim to custody modification rights. Even though both parties are involved in parenting, the law prioritizes legal custody structure over emotional replacement roles. This moment shows how strict family law can be, especially when multiple caregivers are emotionally attached, but only one holds legal authority.
Dad is pretty involved with the child. He's paying for teaching her how to skate, paying for karate. She has a great relationship with her paternal grandmother. It sounds like dad wants to be a part of the child's life. I also understand, Mr. Ward, you're heavy involved child. You have a nickname for her. You all do things together. She loves ketchup. You know all about her nightlife and her sleep routines and everything like that. However, that does not negate the fact of what the law says. The child was not left with you by dad. Her dad is still alive. Sounds like he's very active. Doesn't sound like he, is a deadbeat parent by any means. He is.
The ruling is delivered, case dismissed. The stepfather's petition cannot move forward because he lacks legal standing. The biological father remains the legal parent with rights intact. This is a major moment because it shows how courtroom outcomes are not decided by emotional impact, but by legal eligibility. Even strong caregiving roles cannot override custody law unless the legal framework supports it.
Making the expenditures that any parent would do, and he also said he's trying to petition the court at some point to get sole custody of his daughter. Based on that, I have no other choice but to dismiss your claim because you do not have any grounds to be petitioning this court for child support. Is there anything further from either of you?
No.
Ma'am, I'm very happy with the verdict.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
What?
So in the end, the court didn't question love or effort, it questioned legality. The stepfather acted like a parent, but the law didn't recognize him as one. And that gap changed everything. What do you think? Should courts ever consider emotional parenting over legal custody? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns like this one.
All rise. Judge Vonda B court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1052, James case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Miss James,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
This girl here don't want to take care of her kids. I've been had her kids forever.
When you say forever, what's forever?
I've been had basically the 4-year-old been with me since he was a baby, and now the 2-year-old I got her little tail when she was 5 months. 2 now. She don't want to take care of them. She don't want to stop by when they want to see her. I did her a favor, let her go do some work, and
Alright guys, this one right here. It's messy, emotional, and brutally real. We've got a mother being dragged into court by her own aunt. Someone who claims she's been raising these kids almost their entire lives. From the jump, you can feel the tension, accusations of neglect, financial abandonment, and a lifestyle that doesn't match responsibility. But here's where it gets serious. This isn't just family drama anymore. This is about legal obligation. When a parent steps back, does someone else step into their place legally? Or does the law force accountability no matter what? Let's break it down.
do these old hussies hair. She want to follow and live the good life while I have her kids. So I need her to pay up. I need some help.
I definitely agree you need some help. Well, what's the issue? Your kids have pretty much been with your aunt their entire lives.
Semi-aunt. I don't even know if she really my brother's child.
There she goes again.
Oh,
I provide
okay.
for my kids. I travel for my work, and I have to do hair, make appointments. You know, I'm
Wait a
busy.
minute. Start over with what you were saying. I was too busy trying to drink this tea with what she just said about her brother.
Yeah, she likes to play that card, but we know.
Girl,
I'm listening now.
But I'm a hairstylist. I do hair.
Your
you
hair
know.
is pretty.
Thank you. I do wigs, lace fronts, all of that. So when people call
So you
me,
have the money to pay for these kids.
This moment hits hard because the aunt is laying out a long-term pattern. Not just a temporary struggle, but years of raising these children without real support. And then the mother responds, but instead of denying absence, she shifts focus to her work and lifestyle. That's a dangerous move in court. Because legally, providing occasional food or visits doesn't meet the standard of parental responsibility. The judge is already picking up on that gap. So ask yourself, does occasional effort count as parenting? Or is consistency the real standard?
You're just choosing not to. That's essentially what you just said, right?
no, so I'll pay for these kids. Like I bring them food.
she
I bring
brings them
clothes.
McDonald's, a Happy Meal, maybe
Every kid love a happy.
no clothes, no shoes,
You know,
bring clothes and
a
shoes.
Happy
Granimal
Meal,
sandals.
If they're with her all of the time, a Happy Meal, ma'am, is insufficient.
Well, when I come, I bring them whatever they
When
like.
you
And
come,
they like
how
McDonald's.
often do you go over there?
Tell the
A
truth.
couple times a month.
How many?
Depending on my schedules.
Kids are priority. These little strippers' hair can wait. See, that's your problem.
So you doing strippers' hair?
Well, they pay more. You know, they make that big money, so I got to get my coins.
I mean, they do get paid.
And she
You know
probably
what?
doing something strange for a piece of change too.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not.
Now things escalate. The conversation shifts from care to priorities, and it's not looking good for the mother. She admits her work revolves around clients who pay well, and suddenly the narrative becomes clear. Income exists, but support doesn't. That contradiction is exactly what courts focus on. If you have the ability to earn, you have the obligation to provide. And emotionally, this hits deeper, because the aunt isn't just complaining, she's been filling the gap. So who's really acting like the parent here?
Oh, it sounds like you are too.
No, I'm in the streets to make them coins to get that money,
Oh.
lay that hair.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and lay some numbers for you. How much money you make a year?
About 60,000.
60,000? Okay. Who did this tax return you gave me? Somebody from the streets?
Somebody I met through a friend. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Shaniqua.
Oh, okay. Well, they have your income at 65,000. So is that true?
It's around there.
We're going to use that number. We're going to use that number instead of that 60,000 that you just gave me, because you came in here to waste my time and play these games, and I'm not about to play with you.
Ms. Vonda,
Yes, ma'am.
her kids' hair need done.
And but she said her edges, you know, she lay edges.
You see how cute her hair look? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think she comes and buys Borettes and everything comes out of my pocket. I keep those babies looking good. She never put her finger in there, but she want to run around and put her little fingers in these other little helpers' head.
You know what? You know better, or at least you should.
This is where the judge takes control and shifts everything to numbers, because numbers don't lie. The mother says one income, the documents show another. That inconsistency damages credibility instantly. In court, once your honesty is questioned, everything else becomes weaker. And now the judge is calculating based on actual earnings, not excuses. This is the turning point where the emotional argument fades and legal accountability takes over. And honestly, this is where the case is basically decided.
That brings your gross to about $5,400. Your net is $4,383.27. What about health insurance?
Medicaid.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're really about to pay today, because you know Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state, right? Well, you just found out something today. I'm so glad that you are ready to learn something, because you are about to learn today, okay? So, child support calculation, 2 kids, only 2 kids. Well, I know it's 2 kids that you have, but do you have any other kids?
No, just the 2.
Okay. So,
What?
yes, ma'am.
Well, I did get can I confirm something? You not pregnant?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, you didn't say that very
Yeah.
confidently.
I'll probably end up with that one too.
Okay, well, moving right along. Child support is $1,096, plus we need to reimburse that Medicaid, like I told you. So we take that $5,400, do 9% of that. That comes out to $486. $486 plus the $1,096. That brings.
Here's the legal reality in full force. Child support isn't optional. It's calculated based on income, number of children, and additional responsibilities like healthcare. And when Medicaid is involved, reimbursement becomes mandatory. The judge breaks it down step by step, and the final number hits hard $1, $582 a month. That's not punishment, that's obligation. Because legally, the person raising the children is entitled to that support. So the real question is, should this have even reached court, or was this overdue accountability?
Bring your child support obligation to $1,582 per month.
I'm sorry, you said 1,000 what?
$1,582. Anything else?
For 2 kids?
Girl,
Yeah.
A month?
do you know how much I pay to take care of your kids? More than that. That is only a pinch of what I pay to take care of your kids monthly.
Well, I have to agree with her. I normally don't allow people to talk out of turn, but you know, she's absolutely correct.
Okay.
It doesn't put a dent in anything that she does, especially when you're talking about feeding 2 children. Yeah, sure you do. Is there anything further?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything further?
No, but she can bring by some McDonald's today.
Okay. Well, take some McDonald's over there, and if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
So in the end, the court made it clear, this wasn't about opinions, it was about responsibility. The aunt stepped up, the mother stepped back, and the law stepped in. Child support was ordered because the children's needs come first. Always. And that's the takeaway here. No matter the lifestyle, no matter the excuses, accountability doesn't disappear. Now I want to hear from you. Who do you think made the stronger case? Drop your thoughts below, like this video, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns like this.
All rise. Support court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1076, Paul case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Mr. Paul,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you back.
Good to see you.
Okay, all right. And the last time you were here, we were here for your daughter. You had.
Alright guys, this one's gonna hit hard. A retired father walks into court, not for himself, but because he's been raising his daughter's kids with zero support. And now, there's a newborn added to the situation. This isn't just about money. It's about responsibility, sacrifice, and broken family roles. But what really unfolds here might completely change how you see accountability.
Both her children. Okay, who is this?
This is my youngest daughter, Kayla, and we have her kid now, so we're trying to somehow get some more income because she's not giving us really nothing. And we just...
You all are just that great of grandparents. Your children want to leave their children with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, they did such a good job raising me. They might as well.
Excuse me, Miss Paul. Give me an opportunity to speak with.
Right away, you can feel the imbalance. The father is calm, factual, clearly overwhelmed, but the daughter comes in defensive, almost dismissive. In family court, that contrast matters. Judges look at behavior just as much as words. And when one side shows responsibility while the other avoids it, the tone of the case starts forming early. So ask yourself, who's already making the stronger impression here?
She don't have any business since we have her child living with us.
How old is this child?
He's 6 months now.
6 months, yeah.
Oh, it's a newborn.
Yeah.
Yes.
You left your newborn baby with your parents?
Every day.
Well, I mean, people make mistakes, and so he's a mistake.
Wow.
You knew what you were doing.
much.
If I could take it back, I would, honestly. But
if you could take what back?
Really?
Everything.
This is where everything shifts, the newborn revelation. A 6-month-old baby left with grandparents. Legally, that's huge. Physical custody becomes the foundation for child support decisions. But emotionally, it hits even harder when the mother casually calls it a mistake. That single word can impact credibility in court. Did this moment change how you see her role in this situation?
Okay? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. They're here today because they want you to pay child support for your son.
In my defense, they set up the baby shower and all of that. I never signed up for any of that. And at the baby shower, they let me know that if it was anything that I need, they would be there.
Right.
And I need them right now.
Wait a minute.
So they should be here.
Hold on.
Excuse
Let's
us?
rewind. Mrs. Paul, give me 1 minute, okay? Give me 1 minute. Let's rewind.
Now the judge steps in with a critical clarification. Help does not equal parenthood. Just because grandparents offered support doesn't mean they signed up to raise the child full-time. This is where legal boundaries matter. The mother is trying to stretch emotional support into obligation, but the court quickly shuts that down. If you were in her position, would you see that difference?
Exactly.
Yes.
So, don't you believe you should be financially supporting your baby boy while he's with your parents?
I do, but at the same time, y'all doing it for Christy. Why can't you do it for me?
Well, and you think that's right?
That had nothing to do with that.
I mean, it's only fair.
So because they have your sister's children.
Here comes the comparison argument, and it backfires instantly. Bringing up the siblings situation doesn't strengthen her case. It weakens it. Courts don't deal in fairness between siblings. They deal in individual responsibility. And when she shifts focus instead of owning her actions, the judge sees right through it. So be real, was this a misunderstanding or straight up deflection?
Remember correctly, Mr. Paul retired.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all have inherited a newborn baby. So I can definitely understand the frustration. But
yes,
just give me a moment to get her side of the story here, okay?
Okay, yeah, because I should be living my best life right now.
You say that, baby.
Traveling, seeing the world.
I do not necessarily disagree with that.
They always act broke.
Whether they act like they have money or broke, the point is that they have.
Now we hear something telling. I should be living my best life. And that's where priorities collide with reality. Wanting a better life isn't wrong, but abandoning responsibility for it? That's where the court draws the line. The judge doesn't ignore her ambition, but she refuses to let it override parenting. Would you say she's chasing growth or avoiding duty?
I here to defend herself.
Right.
Secondly, we're talking about a newborn baby here that belongs to you. So,
Yes, ma'am.
congratulations for graduating high school, being in school.
A year later.
But you're a parent now.
I'm there.
You're a parent, and that's where I come in to make sure that you financially take care of this child.
Thank you.
Especially since the child doesn't live with you.
Exactly.
And hasn't lived.
This is a key legal moment. The judge makes it clear that education and personal progress do not cancel child support obligations. In fact, having income potential strengthens the case against her. That's how family law works. Responsibility grows with capability. So even if she's trying, the court is focused on results. Do you think that's fair or too strict?
I only kept him for a week.
A week, Your Honor.
Miss Paul, is that true?
Well, I have to get back to school.
So the answer is yes.
I'm gonna save lives. I mean, yes, but
But you're not trying to save your own baby's life?
Exactly.
What make that make sense?
when I have the time, I see him.
When's the last time you came and seen him?
I was just there last week.
After
For
what, a month?
5 minutes?
And then comes the bombshell. She only kept the baby for 1 week. That's not temporary help anymore. That's a pattern of absence. In court, patterns matter more than promises. Visiting occasionally doesn't replace parenting. And now the judge has a clearer picture forming. So where do you draw the line? When does distance turn into neglect?
Now, how much is it that you're making?
I make about $48,000 a year. Here they go.
They didn't even know you were making this kind of money?
I mean,
Answer the question. It's
check.
a yes or a no. You didn't tell your parents you're making this kind of money.
I didn't feel like I had to.
Why would you feel like that?
Because it's my name that's on the check and not theirs.
You know what? Let me move over to your parents for 1 second.
This little selfish little girl.
Now the financial truth comes out. $48,000 a year. And here's the twist, the parents didn't even know. That changes everything. Because now it's not just about absence, it's about withholding support while having the ability to give it. That hits hard legally. Transparency matters when others are raising your child. Do you think hiding that made her situation worse?
$8,000 a year, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that brings your gross to $4,000, making your net $3,356.08. Do you have any other children?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Mr. Paul, what was that?
Trust me, I don't, and I don't
I don't
plan
know.
on it.
She may have some more that we don't know about. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if that's the case, you all do not have to take those kids in either.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here's where the judge locks it in. Income is calculated, and child support is no longer negotiable. Once numbers hit the table, emotion steps aside. The system becomes formula-based. Gross income, net income, obligations, it's all structured. And at this point, there's no talking your way out. Did she underestimate how serious this was from the start?
For a health insurance reimbursement, okay? Plus your child support obligation of $671.
Yes.
That brings monthly child support to $921.
If I gotta pay that, I'm not.
And you know what?
You're either gonna get child
And you know
support or
what?
time.
I missed something. I missed something because your parents asked for back pay.
Hello.
They asked for back pay since the baby has been living with them. That comes out to $5,500.
And just when it seems done, the judge adds back pay. That's a major move. It means the court isn't just fixing the present. It's correcting the past. Every month the grandparents carried the burden alone now counts. Financially, that adds real pressure. But legally, it makes sense. Should past absence always come with a price like this?
Going to be responsible for the financial.
Rise. Judge Vonda B court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1049, Paul case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Mr. Paul, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
My daughter, who's living some type of life that I have no idea what it is, she drops her kids off every day, wants to, and doesn't leave any money for food or for any kind of things that the kids need. So,
all right, guys, this case starts off simple, but don't get comfortable. A retired grandfather walks into court claiming his daughter has been dropping her kids off every single day with zero financial support. At first, it sounds like temporary help, but the reality is way more serious. This isn't babysitting anymore. This is full-time responsibility being forced onto someone who already retired. And the moment the judge starts asking questions, you can already feel that something isn't adding up. So the real question is, where does family help end and straight-up neglect begin?
I need some help financially because she didn't give me anything. I mean, just me giving my money out of my pocket that I retired with. So I need some help, seriously.
Okay, and where did you retire from?
From the school district.
Okay. How long were you there?
20 years.
Okay, great. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking in daughter's kids, because they could be a number of places, but thankfully they're with a grandparent. Ma'am, what do you have to say for yourself? First off, let me ask this question. Is what he just said true? It's a yes or a no. Is what he just said true?
Yes, it's true.
What's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. It's just stuff I be needing to do, and I need somebody to watch.
Now the grandfather breaks it down. He's retired and living on limited income, yet still covering everything for these kids on his own. Meanwhile, the mother casually admits she drops them off every single day like it's normal. That right there completely shifts the legal angle of this case, because this is no longer occasional help, it's full responsibility without any agreement. The judge immediately recognizes that imbalance, and you can tell the situation is already leaning in one direction. So ask yourself, would you step up like this or draw the line?
The kids, so I take them over there.
Every day?
Yes, every day. I don't see the issue.
Excuse me. You all will not address each other. You will address me, okay? And I definitely understand Dad's frustration. I'm going to ask you too. Every day you have something to do that requires you to be away from your kids. How many kids are we talking?
Two.
You left 2 kids with him? What do you have to do, ma'am, that's so important every day that you cannot have your own kids?
I make money, so.
Doing what? What do you do for a living?
Whatever I need to do, honestly.
Ma'am, what does that even mean?
I do, you know.
Here's where things start getting uncomfortable. The mother tries to justify everything by saying she needs to make money. But when the judge asks what she actually does, her answers become vague and inconsistent. And in a courtroom, that's a big problem, because if you're capable of working, then you're expected to support your children. The judge isn't interested in general statements. He wants clear facts. And right now, her story is starting to fall apart under pressure.
Little dabble here, little dabble there, just different stuff.
You know what? You obviously came here to waste my time, and I am not about to play with you. What was the last legitimate job that you had?
I was a waitress.
Okay, where?
At a club.
Is that what you call it? Waitressing?
Yes, it was waitressing. What else was I doing?
You don't want me to tell you.
I want you to tell me.
She was strolling the streets like a prostitute. I mean, it's like, because you never see her until she dropped the kids off, and
Then comes a turning point as allegations about her lifestyle and income start coming out. The grandfather suggests she's actually making thousands of dollars monthly, which completely changes the direction of the case. Now the focus shifts from emotions to financial reality. Because legally, child support isn't based on what you claim. It's based on what you earn or have the ability to earn. And this is where things start getting serious, because the court begins connecting her lifestyle to her responsibility.
She for 2 or 3 days.
That's what he heard. He don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Who told him that? The streets?
I guess so. The streets had to tell him.
I hear the streets tell the truth, right?
Sometimes.
They talk, right?
The streets talk, but sometimes the streets be lying, and that's what they doing at
Well,
this moment.
I don't think they're lying on you now, ma'am. Every day your kids are with your dad? No, ma'am. When you were working at that club, how much money were you bringing home monthly?
Between $7,000 to $8,000 a month.
All right. Okay. And that's all tips?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I am going to do is base your child support on that $7,000 a month.
The judge quickly locks onto that $7,000 monthly estimate and turns it into an annual income of $84,000. And just like that, the foundation for child support is set. Even though she clearly doesn't agree, the court doesn't rely on emotions. It relies on patterns and evidence. This is a critical legal moment, because income doesn't just disappear when responsibility is ignored. The court is now building a case based on what she's capable of earning, not what she wants to admit.
So that would bring your yearly salary to $84,000 a year. Yeah, you can shake your head all you want to, but that's exactly what I'm going to do, ma'am. This is extremely disappointing that you leave your kids every day with your dad and you're not giving him any type of financial support. What are these kids on? They receive any type of government assistance or anything?
She gets food stamps every month. And I don't see any.
You get food stamps? Where are the food stamps going?
In my house.
Who lives in your house besides you that need the food? Because your kid's over here with your dad. You don't give him any money from those food stamps? You know what? I'm not about to play with you. So this is what we're going to do. Salary $84,000 a year. That brings your gross to $7,000. Your net to $5,508.80.
Now the pressure really builds as the judge starts addressing benefits like food stamps and where that support is actually going. The children are living with the grandfather, yet the financial assistance isn't following them, which becomes a major issue. Legally, support should go where the children are, not where the parent chooses to spend it. This moment shifts the entire tone of the courtroom, because now it's not just about absence. It's about misuse of resources and accountability.
7 cents, which will make your child support obligation $1,377. Now you said that you were receiving. Don't look confused. I don't even want to hear it.
I can't pay that every month.
You were not making those faces when you were out in those streets.
But
so don't come in here trying to make. Excuse me. Don't come in here trying to make those faces. I am not trying to hear it. I've heard enough.
Your Honor.
Wrong. Yes, sir.
She has a man living with her too, so just in case you didn't know.
You don't need to tell her who in my house though, Daddy. Like for real.
Okay.
I'm just telling the truth. I mean, it is what it is.
It sounds like Daddy telling the truth.
Tattletelling.
Well, it sounds like he needs to tattletale on you. Somebody need to. You are ridiculous right now. She receives food stamps, so I'm assuming there is some Medicaid or something these kids are getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do is do 9% of that $7,000 for your reimbursement to Medicaid. That comes out to $496.
Now we move into the calculation phase, where everything becomes numbers and percentages. The judge breaks down her gross income, net income, and then applies the appropriate child support percentage. On top of that, Medicaid reimbursement is added, which many people don't expect. This shows that child support isn't just about paying monthly. It's also about covering any public assistance used for the children. At this point, the reality of the situation is fully setting in.
So $1,377 plus the $496 reimbursement to Medicaid that make your total monthly child support obligation $1,870.
I don't even know men that pay that much money every month. So why I gotta pay that every month?
I don't know too many women that just take their kids and go drop them off at their parents' house and they have a whole man staying in the house with them.
Mm-hmm. It's my dad. Y'all act like I dropped them off with anybody.
These are your kids. Is there anything further, ma'am?
Oh, I guess I need to go make some money in these streets for that.
Okay, well, you know what? That is your business. As long as these streets pay Pawpaw $1,873 a month in child support. Sir, is there anything further?
Mother's Day to you.
Oh. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
And finally, the judge delivers the ruling $1, $873 per month in child support. A clear message is sent. You don't get to walk away from your children and your responsibilities at the same time. The grandfather gets the financial support he needs, and the mother is held accountable for her actions. But the bigger question still stands, was this real justice, or just the minimum required by law? Let me know what you think, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns like this.